decode relationships, transform connections. Welcome to Beyond Boundaries. Have you ever wondered if the man in your life truly loves and adores you? Not just the casual I love you words, but deep, undeniable love that you can feel without him even saying a word? Because when a man truly loves you, his actions reveal it louder than any words ever could. Today, I'm going to share 4 powerful signs that a man is deeply in love with you. And let me tell you, number 3 might just shock you. So stay with me till the end because you don't want to miss it. Let's dive in. A man who truly loves you, really deeply and fundamentally, will protect you. And I don't mean this in the way society often misrepresents it as some grand, overbearing, almost archaic form of masculinity. No, I'm talking about something far more subtle, something deeply embedded in human nature, in biology, in psychology, and in the way men express their deepest affections without often realizing it themselves. Protection, in this sense, is not just about physical safety. It's about something much more profound. A man in love sees you as his person, someone whose well-being is his responsibility in ways he may not even be able to articulate. His mind, if you could look inside it, has begun to weave you into his identity, his future, his sense of purpose. And when that happens, something shifts. His actions, small and large, start to show it. You'll notice it in the way he watches out for you, not in a controlling way, but in a way that makes it clear you are not alone in this world. He'll walk on the side of the sidewalk closest to traffic, instinctively placing himself between you and potential harm. He'll notice when you're exhausted and tell you to sit down while he takes care of something, perhaps the dishes, perhaps something more significant. He'll make sure you're home safe, not because he doesn't trust you to take care of yourself, but because something inside him needs to know that you're okay. And this is a crucial distinction, because in modern relationships, we often hear that a woman doesn't need a man to take care of her. And that's true, but it completely misses the point. A man who adores you doesn't take care of you because he thinks you need him to. He does it because it is an expression of his love. It's how he feels love, how he shows love, and denying him that role is like cutting off an intrinsic part of his ability to connect. What's fascinating about this behavior is that it's biologically wired. Studies on male attachment show that when a man falls in love, his brain chemistry changes. His levels of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, increase. His testosterone adjusts, making him more protective of his partner. His stress response alters. He begins to react more intensely to threats against you than to those against himself. It's primal, it's automatic, and it's not something he consciously decides to do. He just does it. And here's the interesting part. He may not even know he's doing it. Men aren't typically socialized to recognize emotional nuance in their own behavior. So when he insists on checking the car before you leave, when he double checks the locks at night, when he gets that look in his eye if someone disrespects you, he might not even realize why, but you'll see it, you'll feel it. And this protective instinct extends beyond the physical. A man who truly loves you will protect you emotionally too. He won't be careless with your feelings. He won't let others undermine you. He won't sit silently while you're disrespected, nor will he allow you to be treated as if you were anything less than valuable. And most importantly, he will protect your relationship. You see, a man who genuinely loves you understands that relationships are fragile, not in the sense that they are weak, but in the sense that they require care. And he cares about protecting what you have. He won't entertain destructive influences. He won't allow ego, resentment, or carelessness to corrode what you've built together. He will take steps, sometimes quietly, sometimes obviously, to ensure that you both feel secure, respected, and valued. But there's something even more telling about a man's love, and it's this. A man who truly protects you does so even when you don't know what's happening. He will defend you when you aren't in the room. He will stand up for you when it's inconvenient, when no one else is watching, when there's no benefit to him at all, except for the knowledge that he is honoring you, even in your absence. And that is rare. A man who truly loves you will also protect you from himself. This is something that distinguishes a deeply good man from a man who simply means well. He understands his own flaws, his own weaknesses, his own capacity for failure, and instead of making excuses for them, he works against them. He won't allow his worst moments to wound you. He won't let his frustration turn into cruelty. He will not use his love as a weapon to manipulate or control. And when he does make mistakes, as all people do, he will recognize them, take responsibility, and do better. This is something that is often overlooked in modern relationships. We talk about love as passion, as chemistry, as excitement, but love, real, deep, lasting love, is often found in protection, in the willingness to put someone else's well-being before your own, not because you have to, not because society expects it, but because something inside you wants to, because your happiness is tied to theirs, because your instincts tell you that if they are safe, you are safe. And this is the kind of love that withstands time, because let's be honest, passion, attraction shifts. Life throws storms at every relationship. But if you have a partner who fundamentally sees your well-being as his responsibility, who acts on that instinct not out of obligation, but out of devotion, then you have something rare, something that cannot be easily broken, something that goes beyond romance and enters the realm of true partnership. So, if you're wondering whether a man truly loves you, don't just listen to his words, look at his actions. Does he protect you, not just in grand gestures, but in the small, quiet ways that often go unnoticed? Does he shield you from harm, from unnecessary stress, from disrespect? Does he make you feel safe, not just physically, but emotionally? Because if he does, you are not just loved, you are cherished. When a man truly loves you, he listens, not just with his ears, but with his entire being. And this is something that cannot be faked, cannot be imitated, and certainly cannot be sustained unless it is real. Because listening, real listening, requires effort. It requires attention. And attention is one of the most valuable things a person can give. Now, this is where most people get it wrong. They assume that hearing and listening are the same thing, but they're not. A man can hear the words coming out of your mouth and still not be listening. He can nod, say, uh-huh, and even repeat back what you've said, and yet there will be no real understanding, no true engagement. That's not listening. That's passive observation, and it means nothing. But a man who loves you, he listens to you in a way that goes beyond words. He listens to what you mean, not just to what you say. He picks up on the things left unspoken, the pauses, the hesitations, the shifts in tone. He recognizes when you're struggling, even when you insist you're fine. He remembers the things that matter to you, not because he made a conscious effort to memorize them, but because he cares enough that they stick. And why does this matter? Because listening is the foundation of connection. It is what turns two people from mere acquaintances into something far deeper. When a man listens to you in this way, it means he sees you not just as someone to pass time with, not just as an object of attraction, but as a person with depth, with complexity, with a mind and a soul worth understanding. And this is not how men listen to just anyone. This is something that happens when a man is emotionally invested, when he has let you pass the walls he keeps up for the rest of the world. Because men, real men, do not open up easily. They are conditioned biologically and socially to be problem solvers, to be fixers. And what do fixers do? They wait for a problem, they identify it, and they try to solve it as efficiently as possible. But love is not efficient. It is not about fixing, not about checking a box and moving on. Love is about presence, about understanding and understanding. And a man who loves you will not just try to solve your problems. He will want to know them, to sit with them, to experience them with you. Because to him, your world, your fears, your joys, your struggles is his world too. And this is something that is extremely rare because most people, men and women alike, are just waiting for their turn to speak. Most conversations are not about connection, but about performance. People talk over each other, they interrupt, they redirect the topic back to themselves. They listen only enough to respond, not enough to understand. And the result, most people go through life feeling unseen, even in their closest relationships. But when a man truly listens to you, you feel it. It is in the way he looks at you, not distracted, not checking his phone, not glancing around the room, but fully there. It's in the way he asks questions, not just polite ones, but real ones, ones that show he's been thinking about what you said long after the conversation ended. It's in the way he brings up something you mentioned in passing weeks ago, proving that your words didn't just vanish into the air, but stayed with him, shaped him, mattered to him. And this isn't just a nice bonus in a relationship, it is everything, daughter. Because if a man is not listening to you, truly listening, then how can he possibly love you? Love is not a feeling, it is an action. That it is attention, it is investment, it is effort. And here's something even more fascinating. Listening changes him too. When a man listens to you deeply, when he truly engages with your thoughts, your emotions, your perspective, it reshapes him. It forces him to see the world differently, to step outside of his own experience, to grow. And growth, real personal transformation, it happens through relationships, through listening, through allowing another person to influence you in a way that makes you better than you were before. So what does it mean if a man listens to you in this way? It means you are important to him. It means that what you think, what you feel, what you experience matters to him on a fundamental level. It means he is not just hearing noise, he is internalizing your presence in his life. But here's the catch. This kind of listening cannot be forced. It cannot be demanded. A man either wants to listen or he doesn't. And if he doesn't, no amount of pleading, nagging, or convincing will change that. Because listening is not about obligation, it is about choice. A man who loves you listens because he chooses to, because it is in his nature to want to know you, to understand you, to make you feel understood. And that is what love really is, not grand declarations, not poetic words, not even the thrill of passion. Love, real love, is a man sitting across from you, looking into your eyes, hearing not just your voice, but your soul, and saying, without saying it, I see you. I hear you. You matter to me. A man who truly loves you respects you in a way that is both deeply ingrained and actively demonstrated. And respect, real, unshakable respect, is not something that can be manufactured, faked, or forced. It is either there or it isn't. It is built from admiration, from recognition of your value, from an understanding, whether conscious or unconscious, that you are someone worthy of care, of honesty, of commitment. And this is where so many relationships fall apart, because you cannot love someone you do not respect, not in a way that will last, not in a way that is healthy, and certainly not in a way that will allow both people to thrive. If a man does not respect you, then what he feels for you is not love. It is possession, it is attachment, it is convenience. But it is not love. Respect is not just about politeness, about saying the right things or behaving in a way that looks good from the outside. It is about how he sees you when no one else is looking. It is about whether he values your thoughts, your opinions, your choices, not just when they align with his own, but when they challenge him. It is about whether he treats you as an equal, as someone whose voice carries weight, as someone whose existence is not secondary to his own. And you can tell, when a man respects you, you can feel it in the way he speaks to you. Does he talk with you or at you? Does he listen when you disagree, or does he dismiss you the moment you present a perspective that doesn't match his own? Does he make decisions with you or for you? These things reveal the truth about his character, about whether he sees you as a partner or as an accessory to his life. And here's the part that surprises people. Real respect is not about agreement. It is not about a man nodding along, pretending to be on the same page, avoiding conflict for the sake of keeping the peace. No, real respect means he can disagree with you and still honor you. It means he does not belittle, does not condescend, does not roll his eyes or dismiss your words as irrelevant. It means he recognizes that you are an individual with your own mind, your own experiences, your own wisdom, and that even when he does not see things the same way, he still holds space for your perspective to exist without needing to crush it under the weight of his own. And that is rare, because most people, men and women alike, struggle with respecting those who challenge them. It is easier to surround yourself with those who reinforce your beliefs, who validate your worldview, who never push against your ideas or make you question your assumptions. But love, real, strong, enduring love, requires something different. A man who truly respects you will never make you small to make himself feel bigger. He will not use his strength, whether it's physical, emotional, or intellectual, to overpower you. He will not cut you down with sarcasm, with dismissiveness, with jokes that carry hidden cruelty. He will not undermine you in public or in private, will not make you feel foolish for having emotions, will not invalidate your experiences by telling you they are all in your head. And if he does even once and does not recognize it, does not correct it, does not care that he has done it, then that is not love. That is control. A man who loves you respects your time, your energy, your dignity. He does not make promises he has no intention of keeping. He does not string you along, feeding you just enough affection to keep you tethered while he indulges his own selfishness. He does not disappear when things get hard, only to return when it's convenient for him. He does not expect you to bear the weight of the relationship alone, to be the only one working, the only one compromising, the only one bending, while he remains unyielding. And most importantly, a man who respects you respects your boundaries. And this is where so many people get lost, where so many women in particular find themselves trapped in cycles of exhaustion and frustration, because they believe that if they just explain enough, just justify enough, just accommodate enough, eventually the other person will understand. But respect is not something that should have to be earned through suffering. It should be given freely from the start. When a man respects you, he does not push past the limits you set. He does not try to manipulate you into going against your own values. He does not dismiss your needs as unimportant. He does not test how much you will tolerate before you break. He honors the boundaries you create because he understands that they are not there to punish him, but to protect you. And a man who truly loves you wants you to be protected. Respect, at its core, is the recognition that you are not an extension of him. That your life, your choices, your goals, your emotions are just as valid, just as significant, just as real as his own. And when a man understands this deeply, fully, in a way that shows up in his actions every single day, then and only then can love truly exist. A man who truly loves you will protect you, not just physically, but emotionally, psychologically, and even spiritually. And this is not about dominance, not about control, not about reducing you to someone in need of constant rescuing. No, real protection is something far more profound. It is about a man who takes responsibility, not just for himself, but for you, for the relationship, for the space the two of you share in this world. It is about a man who understands that love is not just about what he can take, but about what he must give. And this is something deeply embedded in the male psyche. Men are wired to protect. This is not just social conditioning, it is biological, evolutionary, ingrained into the very fabric of who they are. When a man loves a woman, it activates something in him, a deep, almost instinctual drive to ensure her well-being. And that does not mean he fights every battle for her, or that he treats her as fragile, or that he steps in where he is not needed. No, what it means is that he cares enough to make sure she is safe. It means he is attuned to her needs, that he does not look away when she is struggling, that he does not abandon her in moments of vulnerability. And that is what separates a man who loves you from a man who is merely with you. Because a man who loves you will not leave you to fend for yourself when life becomes difficult. He will not stand by passively while you carry all the weight. He will step up. He will be present. And presence, true, unwavering presence, is a form of protection in itself. And you can see this in his actions. You can see it in the way he stands by you when others try to tear you down, in the way he notices when something is off, when you're overwhelmed, when you're carrying too much, in the way he defends you, not just with words, but with his choices, his priorities, the way he builds his life in a way that ensures you are safe within it. But here's what most people miss. Protection is not just about defending you from the outside world. It is also about protecting you from himself. And this is where things get difficult, because love requires honesty, and honesty requires us to acknowledge our own darkness. Every man, every human being has the capacity to harm, to be careless with their words, to let their temper get the best of them, to put their own needs ahead of their partners without even realizing it. And a man who loves you understands this. He understands that his power, whether it's physical, emotional, or even just the power that comes from being in a close relationship, comes with responsibility. So what does he do? He makes sure that he never becomes a source of your pain. He watches himself. He keeps his own impulses in check. He does not lash out in anger, does not use his words as weapons, does not manipulate, does not belittle. And if he ever does cause harm, because no one is perfect, he takes responsibility. He acknowledges it. He corrects it. And this is rare, because so many people refuse to look at themselves honestly. They refuse to see the ways in which their own behavior impacts those around them. They make excuses, they justify, they shift blame. But a man who truly loves you does not do this, because his love is not about him. It is about you. It is about ensuring that you do not have to suffer because of his shortcomings. And protection, real protection, goes even deeper than that. Because it is not just about keeping you safe from harm, it is also about keeping you safe from fear. And that means creating an environment where you feel secure, where you do not have to second guess his intentions, where you do not have to wonder if he will change, if he will leave, if he will betray your trust. It means being consistent. It means showing up again and again and again, until you know that he is not going anywhere. Because love is not just passion. It is not just romance. It is not just grand gestures. Love is the security of knowing that you are with someone who will not let you fall. That no matter what happens, no matter how hard life gets, no matter how much you struggle, no matter how imperfect you are, he will be there. Not because he has to be, not because he is obligated, but because he chooses to be. Because keeping you safe in every sense of the word is something he takes seriously. And that is what love really is. Not words, not promises, not fleeting moments of passion, but protection. Protection that is felt in the way he treats you every single day. Protection that is built through trust, through care, through a deep and unwavering commitment to making sure that you are okay. Now, here's my question for you. Have you ever experienced these signs in a relationship? Or maybe you've seen the opposite, where someone's words didn't match their actions. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let's start a conversation. And if this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Also, what topics do you want me to cover next? Let me know in the comments, and I'll be sure to bring you the content you need. See you in the next video.